We're at 18164 Chardon Cir Encino, California, 91316. And this is Michael Gerace with Michelangelo's Plumbing. It is July 12th, 2018, and we are performing a video sewer inspection through the 3-inch ABS plastic mainline clean out on the far left corner of the house. As you're facing the house from the street, we're at the far left corner. There is a ABS plastic mainline clean out, and right now we ran a preliminary inspection. We're just pulling back right now, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to run out again. We located marked areas out that need to be addressed. Here's the front of the house. And this is the 3-inch ABS plastic mainline clean out. So we're going to run back in, and we get in. We're going to pause for a moment and just zero out our camera. And we got our camera zeroed out right at that mainline clean out just as we enter. And going down into the clean out, we're only in a few feet. We're going to try and wipe off our camera lens one more time. As we go in, and we're only in a few feet, and we transition to vitreous clay. We've got some root intrusion and a crack. It appears at that area just a few feet in, right in front of us. And then we're making a turn. As you can see, we've got roots at the bottom of this area, of this turn, and those are coming from behind us. We'll actually run through the mainline clean out behind us. We're going to run in. First joint we come upon has some minor cracks in the bottom. You can see them off to the left by about the 7 o'clock area. Those are minor, but they don't appear to be in terrible condition. Those are very common for vitreous clay. Next joint appears to be in pretty good condition. Little minor root intrusion off to the left about the 9 o'clock area. We've got a Y that cuts across from the other side of the house. Got another joint here, and that joint just has some minor separation. Doesn't look bad at this time. Another joint. This joint appears to be in good condition. Have a turn, and then another joint. That joint, from what we can see, appears to be in good condition. We can't see all of it. Now this is the Y coming from the other side of the house. That is just on the other side of the front door entranceway. There's another 3-inch clean out, and this takes care of the laundry area and the kitchen sink area, and I believe the powder room. We make our turn, and we have a joint right here. Appears to be in fair condition at this time. And we have another joint. That joint appears to be in fair condition. Making a turn. And from what we can see of this joint, it's pretty flush. Can't see a lot of it. We got a little separation in that joint. We can't see much of the joint in the turn. Unfortunately, that's just the way the camera goes around the turn. Running down the line, that we have another vitreous clay joint. 4-inch vitreous clay joint appears to be in good condition at this time. We've already looked at the piping. Doesn't look too bad. We don't have many issues within the piping, except one major area down by the driveway. But we do have an issue here. Off to the left, you can see like there's a double line right up toward the 9 o'clock area, running up toward the 11 o'clock area. And that is a crack in the joint. We do have a crack in that joint, and a little bit of an offset, a little separation, excuse me, not an offset, we have a separation. Then we're going down, we have a little bit of an offset here and a pretty good sized separation in this joint. Going down the driveway area, now we're making another turn, we have another joint. That joint appears to be in fairly good condition. Next joint, we have a little tiny bit of separation, but not bad at all. Next joint down by the bottom of the driveway, which is at approximately
42. 4 foot 2 inches. 4 foot 2 inches.
We are at about 4 foot 2 inches deep at this area, and we have a major break right here. You can see at the face of the pipe about the 6 o'clock area. We have a crack and it's going in about 5-6 inches, and then it makes its way going up toward the 1 o'clock area. And there's no stability left to that joint. We get some good earth movement. This can definitely sever. It can just collapse and sever the sewer line. That needs to be addressed and repaired. We have another separation right here at the next joint, minor separation. Then we're going in to the next joint. That next joint appears to be in fairly good condition. Going in some more. A little bit of a separation right here at this next joint. Next joint looks to be in pretty good condition. That joint we have some minor root intrusion. Then we enter the 4 to 6 inch lateral connection. And this is down by the sidewalk area. And we have some pretty heavy root intrusion in this joint right here. We have quite a bit of root intrusion all the way around. This is in the 6 inch lateral connection, which also belongs to the homeowner all the way from here to the city sewer. Then we go in, and the next joint appears to be in fairly good condition from what we can see. That's some minor root intrusion. Next joint appears to be in fairly good condition. Next joint has some root intrusion, has some pretty heavy root intrusion and separation in that joint. Next joint we have some pretty heavy root intrusion in that joint as well. Quite heavy, as you can see off to the left. Next joint we have some pretty heavy root intrusion as well in that joint. Next joint we have some pretty heavy root intrusion, and this is all in the 6 inch lateral. Now we're making a turn, some more root intrusion, and we drop into the city sewer right here. So we've got some root intrusion in quite a few joints in the 6 inch piping, and we have the one major break down by the bottom of the driveway. We're going to pull back now. We've already looked at all these joints, so we're just going to pull back pretty quickly since we've already looked at all this. And then we're going to go through another clean out on the left hand side of the house in the crawl space area. We're going to run through the clean out because we have root intrusion coming through this 3 inch ABS mainline clean out from behind us. So the only way we can get to it is running through that clean out. Pulling back toward our clean out on the front corner of the house. And I'll show you again as we're pulling out. Right here at the bottom of the clean out, right where we're at, right here, you can see there's quite a bit of root intrusion. That's coming from behind us. So we're going to move our equipment now, and we're going to take a look at the other line coming in from the back of this area. We're going to move our camera equipment. Okay, now we're back by the air conditioning condensers and going toward the back of the house. And inside the crawl space area, we have a 3-inch line. So we're going to run through here and we're going to take a look. We've got a cast iron line. We go from an ABS plastic to cast iron. We've got cast iron running under the house. And it has some corrosion and quite a bit of buildup in it. Appears that it may be original from what it looks like. It looks like old lead and oakum. Doesn't look like the newer cast iron with no hub couplings and such. And now we have some what appears to be root intrusion on the top. What it looks like, it's hard to tell, it may be just staining. I can't really see it that well. Then we transition to ABS plastic under the house, and it's not aligned real well, but it's not terrible. It's dropping down into the coupling. This wasn't aligned real well. And so we're going through, and now we're coming into the back of our clean out area, and that is a Y right there, and that's where our root intrusion is coming from outside. It's coming in the back side of a Y, and that's to make a turn or for the inspection years ago. But that's where our roots are coming in, and that's our main line clean out in front. We have a little offset right there as we're going in. It wasn't aligned real well. This area needs to be excavated as well and repaired right at the front. We have quite a bit of root intrusion in the joint back behind our clean out as well. And then it turns to ABS going underneath the house. Got ABS plastic for a little bit, and then we transition back to our cast iron. And our cast iron, again, looks to be original, has quite a bit of buildup in it. It could possibly be hydrojetted, but hydrojetting old cast iron, sometimes you can end up putting holes through it to try and get the debris and the corrosion buildup knocked down on the cast iron. If it's too thin, you'll just put holes through it. It may need to be replaced. Then we're coming back to our ABS plastic mainline cleanout, and that's going to conclude that inspection of this area. And now we're going to move to the front, over by the front entranceway to the house. Okay, we're gonna begin running.
All together? Oh wow, that's good. Can you fit in your car?
We're gonna begin running through our ABS plastic mainline cleanout that is just to the right of the front entrance doorway. That's the front of the house. And this is our garage area. This is the other 3-inch ABS plastic mainline cleanout we're going down into. And we transition immediately to cast iron in the planter area. Again, we got quite a bit of corrosion buildup, and then we transition to vitreous clay, and we got quite a bit of root intrusion right here at the connection from the ABS or from the cast iron to the vitreous clay.
But this is the
And we
second.
got quite a bit of root intrusion at the next joint. Making a turn. Next joint we got some root intrusion in as well. Quite a bit of root intrusion all the way around. Next joint we had a lot of root intrusion. Looks like this has been cleaned pretty recently. Had a lot of root intrusion. You can see where it's all been, it was stuck to the pipe. You can see the swirls in the pipe where it's been cleaned. That joint appears to be in fairly good condition. That joint appears to be in fairly good condition. That joint appears to be in fairly good condition. That joint appears to be in fair condition at this time. That joint's got a little bit of an offset to it. That joint appears to be in fair condition. That joint appears to be in fair condition. That joint appears to be in fair condition. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. Making a turn. That joint's got a little bit of an offset right there. That joint appears to be in fair condition right there. That joint appears to be in fair condition. That joint's got a little offset to it, a little separation. Now we're dropping, making a turn, and then we're back at our break. So this line does not appear to be in terrible condition, but we do have a section of cast iron, and we have a section right in front of us in the driveway area that we have quite a bit of root intrusion. Go back now. All of this area was not in terrible condition. It's only right in front of our clean out where we could see that we had the areas that need attention. Again, we had the root intrusion right here. We're about 11 feet out. Then we have more root intrusion here. Making a turn. We have heavy root intrusion right there. And then we have heavy root intrusion right at our cast iron to clay joint. And then we have a section of cast iron. And then back to the ABS. We're pulling out of our clean out. So we've got about 15 feet or so in the driveway area that needs to be replaced. And that will conclude our video sewer inspection.